side of things as well. Well, I'm delighted to say that Pesh Kapasawala is a trustee for the Free Food for You charity that's based in Chigwell and is with us. Good evening to you, Pesh.
Hi, good evening, Tony. Thank you very much for having us.
It's great to have you back on the show, Pesh, and also to talk a little bit more about how we can help, because the amount of leftover food for things like a jubilee or a big celebration or anything is really, really excessive sometimes. You know, we're talking about just earlier on getting some figures there that it was 40 odd quid that people were overspending on food and having that left over. Why is donating your leftover food so important?
Tony, at the moment we're seeing a doubling of demand on our services throughout all our hubs, actually, and so any donations of any leftovers, any cupboard food is so vital at this stage. But I would also say, Tony, we're talking about big businesses as well. We've got lots of leftover from the Jubilee. We've had a great time, lots of food and drink, but actually big businesses create so much surplus as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's encouraging to see that quite a lot of them are now getting involved, particularly the big supermarkets and the chains and that kind of thing. But there is still an awful lot of stuff that ends up in the bin, isn't there?
Yeah, we're just really touching the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. But the great thing is that there are some really, really big organizations which we work with, which are facilitating collecting all this food. Some of it goes to the public that need it, but we also make meals from it, Tony. We make meals, we make nutritious, ready meals with all the surplus fruit, veg, meat, fish, and it's just a great way to support the community.
Yeah, because when you're thinking about donating, I suppose, you know, the general feeling is, oh yeah, a couple of tins of beans here and there. But as you say, it's an awful lot more than that. And there's probably people that are staring into their fridge right now thinking, I'm not going to eat that. And it's still perfectly usable. Yeah.
You know, one of the biggest issues is the use by dates and some of the products which are labelled with the intention of stopping people consuming food which may not be good for them, but it's overly zealously marked. And so, you know, for instance, you know, some of the supermarkets recently, Tony, you may have seen, have stopped putting a use by date on milk, for instance, because milk will last, you know, many days after the use by date, but it then unfortunately encourages people to dispose of it once you get to that date. But bakery is another example, will last many more days after the date on the packaging. So we all, I think, have a duty of trying to use as much of the limited resources that we have there.
Is it worth people considering when they go on their next shop, particularly if it's shopping for a big event? You know, they're buying for others if you're doing a barbecue or an at-home event or whatever. Is it worth thinking, you know, for an extra £5 or something, buy for charity at the same time, rather than overbuying with things that you probably won't eat anyway? Spend that extra £5 on charity food and send it straight across.
Brilliant. You know, it's a really good way of supporting the community here. Yeah, add a couple of items. Add a couple of items to your shopping basket. We ourselves have lots of collection points throughout the area. We're happy to collect, but I know other food banks, other charities are doing exactly the same thing, Tony. So that's a brilliant way of trying to support the community.
Yeah, it's getting into that thinking, isn't it? I know that many supermarkets now, they have various areas, don't they, where they say, if you've got anything extra, put it in this basket here, and we'll make sure it goes to the right places. And that must be a great conduit for you.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Most of the supermarkets now have maybe a collection box near the till area where either you could buy something and donate it there, or just bring it in, and leave it there, and it gets distributed to all the local food banks and worthy organisations. So it's really trying to reach out into the community with all this surplus food that we've got there, and it is a shame that we've got so many people who are struggling at the moment. moment, and there is a lot of surplus food out there, and it's really trying to get the food to the right people. And if you do have anything surplus, if you want to do additional shopping, we'd welcome that, absolutely.
And one of the things that struck me the other day as well was store cupboard ingredients, which invariably are really expensive. You know, when you're talking about spices and that kind of thing. And I wonder how many people have extra spices because they rebought them again, thinking they were going to cook something, and there's something else at the back. And again, as you mentioned before, you're talking about cooking for people as well as donating food and all the rest. So things like the expensive store cupboard ingredients, they're going to be really welcome, aren't they?
Yeah, and you know, if I go into my store cupboard as well, Tony, we have so much there. We have so much there, and we gather so much food, thinking that we're gonna need it at some point in the future. But I guarantee you, we could all go through our cupboards and come up with food that we really haven't eaten for a while, and that kind of food is absolutely vital for some of our clients, because it's the food that on a rainy day you don't have the money, you can always fall upon on something that you've got in your cupboard. So yeah, please check your cupboard. It's going to be in date. It's going to be in date. But if you have anything that you're not using, you've brought, please do. Yeah, please donate it to your local food bank.
If people want to get more details, Pesh, can they? Have you got the website they could probably go to? I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. www.freefoodforyou.org, and it's spelled free, which is the number 3, food, the number 4. Sorry, let me start again. It's www, the number 3, food, number 4, letter U.org. Thank you.
Brilliant. That's
and
great.
The phone number I can leave as well, Tony.
Yeah, by all means, fire away.
Yeah, 01992 842 642.
Brilliant. Keep up the great work, Pesh. Thanks so much for being with us this evening. And if you'd like to get more details, free food for you, which is the letter U. So it's 3, the number 3, food, the number 4, you.org. And Pesh there is a trustee for the charity and making a real difference in people's lives.